a company like PayPal.
Right, I did know that. Okay.
Uh,
And so what did you do at work?
I work with numbers, worksheets, Excel, a lot of math.
Okay, nice. Okay, I think that was kind of the same answer that you gave me last time.
Yeah.
But good. And David, welcome to class. David, nice to see you again. How are you?
Hi again, Joshua. Thank you. The weather in Costa Rica is very hot.
The weather's pretty hot.
Yeah,
Definitely pretty hot today.
because your skin is a little red, so it's because sun, right?
Yeah. I had a pretty busy day. I went out for a run and then I went to get groceries, but it was really sunny, so I think I might have gotten a little bit burnt.
Yeah. How
So
do
that
you
might
call
be why.
when you are exposed to the sun and after that you are like your skin is red?
Yeah, we'd say
How? Yeah,
burnt. Yeah,
burn. Oh, okay, burn.
burnt.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and so Ismail, what did you do today? What did you do today, Ismail?
I joined some Berlin classes and I got rest. I was at home,
Okay.
Joshua. The weather was rainy and cloudy.
Okay.
I I didn't go out.
Okay, so you just rested because it was rainy and cloudy.
Yes.
Nice. That's good. Those sometimes you need those days where you don't do very much at all. Okay. Uh, okay, perfect. So let's get started with today's class then. And so today we're going to be going to the doctor. And let's start with Friedrich. Friedrich, can you read the title and the next couple of lines?
Okay, uh, going to the doctors. Today we will talk about reasons why you go to the doctor. The old paragraph,
Yeah,
uh, illnesses and their symptoms, medical verbs and verb conjugations.
good. Medical verbs and verb conjugations. Good pronunciation. That sounded really good, Friedrich.
Thank you.
Um, Leandro, welcome to class. Leandro, how's it going?
Hello,
Hey,
how's it going?
it's going pretty well. Thanks for asking. Um, and Leandro, I don't think I've seen you in class. Where are you from, Leandro?
I'm from Brazil. This is my first class.
Nice.
I enter in Verbeling right now.
Perfect. Well, welcome to class. I'm looking forward to having class with you.
Thank you
Okay,
very
good.
much.
And you're welcome. Let's go to the next page. And let's start with David. Can you ask Alejandro the first question?
Okay. Leandro, what are some tools doctors use?
Where tools? My vocabulary is restrict, but use the tools for chirurgy. Um, I don't know the names of the tools. No.
Okay, that's okay. Leandro, can you help him out? Do you know any tools that doctors use? Or does anybody know any tools that doctors might use?
Yes,
Copy.
Joshua. Stethoscope,
Scissors.
Scissors? Yeah.
scissors,
Scissors for sure.
stethoscope,
Stethoscopy.
Stethoscope. Stethoscope.
stethoscope.
Yeah. Some hard words too for these, but definitely a stethoscope. Um, what about machines? What machine do they use to look at your bones?
MR, magnetic resolution,
X-ray. X-ray.
Yeah. So an MRI, a magnetic resolution. Magnetic resolution imagery, magnetic resolution imagery, maybe.
Imagery, yes.
We just call them MRIs. Just like X-ray, I heard. X-ray is definitely another really good one. Maybe the syringe, like a needle.
Blood pressure measure.
Okay,
Blood
blood pressure tester. I'm not really sure what those would be, but yeah.
Measure, I mean. Which one? Tester.
Yeah, blood pressure tester, measure, something like that. I think those are all great tools. That's a really hard question. And it looks like we've got Amir. Amir, welcome to class. Amir, how are you doing? Or is it Amir? Amir, are you there? Okay. Maybe not. Okay. David, can you ask Alejandro the next question? This one right here.
Alejandro or Leandro, sorry.
Alejandro.
Okay. Alejandro, how often do you go to the doctor?
I seldom go to the doctor.
I seldom go to the doctor. Nice. Good word. Seldom. Okay. I seldom go to the doctor. It might sound better to say rarely. Seldom is a very unusual word. So seldom is not used often. Seldom is seldom used. So just remember, rarely might be a better way or a better choice, Alejandro.
Okay.
But good. Good answer. Alejandro, can you ask Leandro the next question?
Leandro, do you have a doctor? What is his name? When was the last time you went to the doctor's office?
Well, actually, I don't have a doctor, but I haven't. His name is Dr. Julio, and I was in your office, well, 3 years ago.
I was in his office 3 years ago.
Yes, it's a long time. Then I can see you.
Okay, so it's been a long
you,
time.
yeah.
Maybe it's been a long time since I've seen him. Can you repeat that sentence?
It's been a long time since I've been see him.
Yeah, and
It's
I've
been.
is just I have.
Okay.
So it has been a long time since I have seen him. But
It's
good.
been a long time since I have seen him. Okay.
Really nice answer. And does anybody have any questions about anything on this page? Any questions? Okay, so no questions. Let's go on to the next page. And let's have Joao, can you read the title and the first 4 words?
Vocabulary: allergy, feel, fracture, headache.
Good. The only small thing I saw was at the end, right here. Can you repeat headache?
Headache,
Yeah, headache. Sorry. Headache. Like that, I think.
headache.
Headache. Good. Okay, and pill, fracture, allergy, vocabulary. I think that sounded really good other than that, Joel. Let's have Ismail. Can you read the next 5 words?
Bleeding, cough, cold, nausea, stomach ache.
Good. Nice job with stomach ache. That's a tough one. Nausea. Can you repeat nausea?
Nausea.
Good. Nausea. Nicely done.
Nausea.
Perfect. Nausea.
Nausea.
And does anybody have any questions about any of these words? Any questions?
Yes.
I have.
What's the meaning of bleeding?
Bleeding. Who can explain what bleeding is? What's bleeding?
Bleeding is when you get hurt and lose your bleed out.
Lose your blood.
You lose your blood
Yeah.
out of your body.
Yeah, so when you lose the blood from your body. But good,
For
yeah.
example,
So
if you cut your finger and your finger body is bleeding after a cut.
yeah, so if you cut your finger is bleeding, or your finger bleeds. Use the present tense of the verb. Good, exactly. Really nice job. And any other questions about any of these other words?
What is coach? Coach?
Cough.
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 What is?
So who can explain what a cough is? What's a cough?
Cough.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's a cough. So maybe when you expel air from your mouth when you are sick, and yeah, I don't really know how to define that better, but definitely the is a cough. Any other questions?
And headache. Headache is pain in your head. Headache.
Yeah, a headache.
Headache. Is pain in the head.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. Just a pain in your head.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Good. Let's go to the next page, and let's have Ismail. Can you read the title and the directions?
Vocabulary. Choose a word and write a sentence with your word in the chat box.
Good. And can everybody go ahead and choose a word and write a word with that, or write a sentence with that word in the chat box? Nice. Yesterday I felt cold. I'll have to keep an eye on both the chat boxes now. Some people. Good. Let's get these both at the same time. Maybe wait for one or two more. Nice. Fridulent. Perfect. Okay, and let's get started with this. Let's have Amr, can you read your sentence? Amr, are you there? Okay, let's have.
Yes.
Oh, there you are. Oh,
Yeah,
can you read your
yesterday.
sentence?
Okay, yesterday I felt cold
Good.
or
The
I
only
got cold.
either would work. Can you repeat felt? Felt.
Felt cold.
Perfect. Really nice job. Alejandro, can you read your sentence?
Yes. Some people produce me allergy.
Okay, and this is good. This is a tricky sentence. Produce me allergy.
That's right.
Not quite. We could say I have an allergy to some people, or I am allergic to some people. I think that's what you're trying to say. Can you read one of those two sentences?
Yes. I have an allergy to some people. I am allergic to some people.
Good. Nice job. Really good reading. Good pronunciation. And let's have Leandro. Can you read your sentence?
I don't take pills from headache.
Okay. I don't take pills from headache. We would use a different preposition, and we'd use an article. Or you could use a possessive pronoun instead of an article.
I don't take pills from my headache. No, I don't know.
Not from.
From, no.
You could say my, though.
To
No,
my,
quite.
No.
It starts with an F.
For headache, for my headache. I don't know.
Yeah.
What.
If you say
Okay.
for my headaches, or you could say for a headache.
Okay.
Yeah. And so really nice job. Good work. And it looks like we've got a new student, Alberto. Welcome to class. Alberto, how are you? Alberto, are you there? Okay. Alberto, let me know when you can talk. Okay, good. And let's have Friedrich. Can you read your sentence?
Yes. I have been studying really hard for math exam, and now I have headache.
Nice. And now I have a headache. I've been
Hi,
Yeah,
teacher.
that's good.
I'm here now.
Okay, perfect, Alberto.
Good evening, everybody.
I can't hear you very well.
Evening, Alberto.
It's a little bit.
Okay, teacher. Thanks so much.
Okay. So, okay, yeah. And again, welcome to class, Alberto. Alberto, maybe, where are you from? Where are you from, Alberto?
I'm Brasilia.
Nice. Okay. I can hear you well now.
I am
Good.
Brasilia.
Good.
Okay.
Okay. And Joao, can you read your sentence?
Yes. When I'm sick, I usually cough a lot.
Nice. Good job. When I'm sick, I usually cough a lot. Perfect. And let's have Ismail. Can you read your sentence?
If I have to use a seaway for a trip, I always have a nausea.
Close. This is a little bit different. So we'd say nauseous, and we'd change the verb.
Always get
Yeah, I always get nauseous.
nauseous.
Can you repeat get nauseous?
Get nauseous.
Yeah. So we say
I always
nauseous, and then nausea. is
Noun
na-
and adjective. Joshua?
Yeah, so nausea is a thing. It's a noun. Nauseous is an adjective. Yeah, so you're nauseous. Yep.
Teacher, I have a question.
What's your question?
Could we use the verb feel for that sentence? I always nausea.
I always have nausea.
No. If can we use the verb feel? Feel. Feel
I can't
nausea.
feel. I always feel nauseous. Yeah, you could say feel nauseous. I always feel nauseous.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. And I have to use a seaway. Seaway is a strange word as well. It doesn't. It still works. If I have to use a seaway or travel by boat for a trip, I think that would sound a little bit more normalized. But I think that's either would work. So really nice job. And I'm not sure if we have any other sentences in this. And Ismail, nice last sentence. Let's skip that one. Does anybody have any questions on this page? Okay, so if there are no questions here, let's move on to the next page. And let's start with, I think we're on Ismail. Can you read the, yeah, can you read the title?
Sentences. Beginner. Fill in the blanks with the correct form of the verb to have.
Good. And Ismail, can you try the first sentence?
I had a cold.
Okay, good. I had a cold. Past tense. And let's have Friedrich. Can you try the next one?
He has a sore throat.
Good. And David, the next one?
Okay. My daughter has the flu.
Good. And let's have Amir, the next one.
Ana, pega uma caneta pra mim, por favor.
Here, let's move on to the next page. And
Hello.
let's...
Hello.
Hi,
Can you
Amir.
hear me?
It sounds like... Yeah. Can you try this one?
Do you have a headache?
Nice. Good job. And let's go on to Alejandro. Can you try the next one?
My husband has a toothache.
Good. And let's have Alberto, the next one.
I think that Alberto said that he has difficulties with his mic or something like that.
Do you have
Alberto, can you try number 6?
headache? Headache.
I'm getting some
We
feedback.
have to go. We have to go to the doctors right away.
Yeah, we have to go to the doctors right away. Good. And let's have Leandro. Can you try the next one? Leandro, are you there?
They don't have health insurance.
Yeah, they don't have health insurance. Can you repeat insurance?
Insurance.
Good. And who was that? Was that Alberto, maybe? Okay, perfect. Leandro, are you there? Are you there, Leandro? Okay, it doesn't sound like it.
What is insurance?
Insurance. Okay, good question. Does anybody know what insurance is? Can anybody
know.
define?
Teacher.
In Portuguese or Spanish?
Okay. Anybody else? So, maybe David or Friedrich or Ismail, Joao. What's insurance? Does anybody know?
Like
Uh,
secure.
For example, if you live on a risky area for an earthquake, you have to get an home insurance. Or, for example, if you have car, if you had an accident, you have to have a car insurance.
Okay. If you get into an accident. I changed that around a little bit. So we'd say if you live in an area that is at risk for an earthquake, you have to get home insurance. And if you have a car, you have to have car insurance for if you get into an accident. I think that's good, though. Really nice job. That's a good example. So it's something that pays. So insurance is just something that pays for your possessions if something happens to them. Something, or a company that pays for your possessions if something happens to them. But good. Let's go on to the next page. Let's try some more sentences, and let's start with Joao. Joao, can you read the title and try the first sentence?
sentence. Advanced. Conjugate the missing verb. I need go. No, I need visit a doctor right away.
Close. Which one of these verbs?
Okay. Just I need a doctor highway.
Can you repeat it one more time? I think you snapped out for a second.
I need to see a doctor right away.
Yeah, exactly. I need to see a doctor right away. Make sure you really pronounce that R sound. It sounded a lot like height, but that was good. Sentences.
Sentences.
Nice. Good job. And then advanced. Advanced.
Advanced.
Good. Advanced.
Advanced.
Advanced. Sorry, one more time, Joao. Advanced.
Advanced.
Good. Perfect. And Ismail, can you try number 2?
Number 2. My throat is sore. Do you have anything that I could take?
Good. Nice job, Ismail. And Friedrich, can you try the next one?
I don't know.
Okay. Maybe David, can you try this one? Can you try this one?
Okay, I'm going to try. You are bleeding.
Good. Nice.
You are going to need a few stitches for that cut.
Good. Friedrich, do you understand that? Do you understand why that's the answer?
Yes, yes.
Okay. And can you read that sentence?
You are bleeding pretty badly. You are going to need a few stitches for that cut.
Good. Really nice job. And let's have Friedrich. Can you try this next one?
My ankle
Yeah.
swells to the size of a balloon. Aches, either sprained or broken.
Okay. We'd use a different tense for this one. We'd use that verb to swell, but we'd use the present perfect.
My ankle has swelled.
Has, and the perfect of swell is actually swollen. Can you
Oh.
read that sentence one more time?
My ankle has swollen to the size of a balloon. It's either sprained or broken.
Good. Balloon.
Balloon.
Yeah, balloon. Good. And let's have Amir. Can you try the last sentence? Amir, are you there? Hey, let's have Alejandro. Can you try the last sentence?
Yes, I'm here. Yes, I'm here.
Okay. In that case, let's have Amir. Can you try the last sentence?
I had a headache for the past 3 days. I think I have the flu.
Okay, let's try one of these verbs. One of these verbs.
Okay. I swore a lot for the past 3 days. I think I have the flu.
Not quite. It's a different
Hmm.
one. Alejandro, can you help out? Do you have any ideas, Alejandro?
Maybe we can say mm, mm,
I have been sick.
Yeah, I have been something. I have been what?
Coffee.
So, coughing? I
Yeah.
heard?
oh, I've been swell.
I've heard I have been
Oh,
coughing.
yeah, okay.
Yeah. So, Amir, can you read that sentence one more time?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And let's have Alejandro. Can you read that whole sentence? Can you read that whole sentence, Alejandro?
Yes. I have been coughing for the past 3 days. I think I have the flu.
Yeah. And the intonation is a little bit different. I have been coughing for the past 3 days. But I think you did a really great job. Good pronunciation. Does anybody have any questions about anything on this page? Any questions?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I'm not really clear about the meaning of the verb swell. Could you define the meaning of that verb?
Okay, yeah. Can anybody explain what swell means? What does swell mean?
To swell
Well,
mean to inflate, to get bigger and bigger, to increase their volume,
Yeah.
like a balloon.
Yeah.
If your, for example,
Exactly.
your ankle swells, uh, it is getting increase its volume like a balloon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
So you're
I got it.
okay. Perfect. Thank you for the help with that, guys. And Murad, welcome to class. Murad, how are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you, teacher?
I'm doing well. It's nice to see you in class.
Nice, thanks, teacher.
And does anybody else have any questions about anything on this page? Okay. Let's go on to the next page. This is gonna be tough. Let's have Morad. Can you play the little boy? Can you play the little boy? And let's have Joao. Can you play the doctor?
okay.
It's begin from the right to the left, or from the left to the right, Dr. Teach.
Yeah, so we read from the left to the right. So we'll start with Morad.
Okay. I told you I'm not sick. What's that? Will it hurt?
It's a tongue depressor. It won't hurt at all.
What's that? Will it hurt?
It's a stethoscope. It won't hurt at all.
What's that? Will it hurt?
It's a cattle prod. It hurts a little less than branding iron. Arrow.
Oh. I'm dying.
Ah, little kids have no sense of humor.
Nice, really well read, guys. That sounded good. Morad, nice job with the sound at the end. That was great. Okay, iron. Can you repeat iron, Joao?
Iron.
Yeah, iron. Okay, and so a branding iron. Does anybody know what a branding iron is? Okay. So a branding iron is something that people use to mark cattle. So this is a picture of a branding iron. So it just has a mark at the end and it heats up and you use it. It's like a tattoo with heat. So it's really, really painful, I'm sure. And they use it to mark usually cattle or horses. And a cattle prod is something that electrocutes cattle a little bit so you can move the cattle where you want to. So that's what's kind of happening. And Ismail, can you explain what's happening in the comic?
Yes. Children usually get fear of doctors, and they don't want to go into hospital. Maybe they have some bad experience about injection at hospital, and that connect with the doctor, the injection pain. And in this comic, this child had a bad experience before with the doctor, and this way he always asked the doctor, will it hurt? And if he heard that it will hurt him, he's going to die. But actually the doctor made a joke for him, because it isn't a real, it doesn't hurt.
Yeah, he's not actually using a cattle prod on
Yes.
the little boy. Exactly. So he made a joke, and the little boy took it literally. Okay, good. That's exactly what happened. At the beginning, children are usually afraid of doctors. And they don't want to go to the hospital. Maybe they had some bad experiences with injections in the hospital. But other than that, Ismail, really good grammar. Okay, and Ismail, can you ask Friedrich the next question?
Frederick, were you ever afraid of going to the doctors, and why?
Could you repeat, please?
Were you ever afraid of going to the doctors, and why?
Yes, I'm sometimes afraid about going to the doctor because I had a bad experience at hospital, and I stayed there during a month, so I hate visiting the doctors.
Wow. Okay. So you stayed in the hospital for a month, and you now hate staying or spending time in the doctors. Nice. Really good answer, Freya the Range. And it looks like we've got a new student, Italo. Or Italo, how are you doing? Italo, can you hear us?
Hello.
Hi. How's it going, Italo?
Fine.
Okay. Good. That's good to hear.
Hello.
Okay. And, hi. Can you hear?
I'm fine. Yes.
Okay. Perfect. Does anybody have any questions about anything on this page? Any questions? Okay.
Comments?
No, not from you specifically. You just kind of came in late. So we're going to be moving on to a new page. Let's practice this dialogue, and let's have David. Can you play the doctor? And Amir, can you play the patient?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Hi, come on in and have a seat. Now, what seems to be the problem?
I have a rash on my arm.
How long have you had the rash?
It's been about a week.
Are you taking anything for it?
I put some cream on it, but it doesn't seem to be helping.
I see. Are you allergic to any medication?
Not that I know of.
I'm going to give you a prescription for some ointment. I want you to apply it 3 times a day. You should also avoid scratching your skin, and it's important to use as little soup as possible. Make an appointment next week if it doesn't get better or the next few days.
Okay, nice. That sounded good, guys. David, you cut out a little bit in the last paragraph. I couldn't see everything. I did hear apply. Can you repeat apply? Apply?
Apply.
Yeah. Apply. And right at the beginning, you pronounced it really well. Just the way that you went about saying the sentence. Now, what seems to be the problem? Can you repeat now? So you start out now, what seems to be the problem?
So I have to pronounce quickly.
Not really. So it's just the pause between. So now, what seems to be the problem? So there's a slight pause in between.
Now, what seems to be the problem?
Yeah. So now, what seems to be the problem? Maybe even we extend now. So we make it a little bit longer. Say, now, what seems to be the problem?
Okay. So now, what seems to be the problem?
Yeah, good. And so, Alberto, sometimes there are misfunctions or malfunctions. So if you try to leave and come back into class, that might work. Or if you click on my name at the bottom of the screen, that should work as well. So try either to leave and come back, or click on my name. And that should work. Does anyone have any questions about anything on this page? Any questions?
Yeah, Joshua. One says, come in and have a seat. Well, I have heard some people that says, take a seat, not have a seat.
Yeah, either work. You could say have a seat, take a seat. Doesn't matter. Come on in is a really common expression with the two prepositions, come on in. Doesn't really make sense, but it's often used. But good. And any other questions here? Any other questions?
So what does rash here mean?
Okay. What's a rash? Does anybody know what a rash is?
An irritation on arm.
Yeah. An irritation of the skin. Usually red, or dry, or itchy. So, or all of those things. That's a rash. Any other questions? Okay. Good. So if that's the case, let's go on to the next page. And let's have Amir. Can you ask Alejandro the first question? Amir, are you there? Okay, David, can you ask
Yes, I'm here, yeah.
There you go. Yep, Amir, can you ask Alejandro the question?
Yes, I'm here. What's the patient's problem?
The
We
patient
can say...
have a rash.
The patient has
Yes, exactly.
a rash.
Patient has a rash
Okay, where?
in his arm.
In his arm? I think we change this preposition. What preposition would you use, Alejandro?
On his arm.
On his arm.
Yeah, good. On his arm. Good. And Alejandro, can you ask Alberto the next question?
Alberto, how long has the patient had the problem?
Alberto, are you there? Okay, Alejandro. Oh, Alejandro, can you ask Morad? Oh, Alejandro, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, Alejandro, can you ask Alberto that question?
Okay. Alberto, how long has the patient had the problem?
I don't know, man. Sorry.
Okay, let's go back here. Does that help? Alberto, does that help?
White, I have difficult conversation. Doctor, hi.
Okay,
To
so
read now?
No.
Yes.
So how long has the patient had the problem? How long has the patient had the problem?
Okay.
So let's go back and how long has he had the problem?
It's been about a week.
Okay, and remember, in English we don't pronounce the E at the end. So when we say week, it sounds like week. Can you repeat week? Week. Week. Good.
Week.
So
Week.
remember,
Week.
there's no E at the end. But good. So he has had the rash for about a week. Good. Let's have Alberto. Can you ask Morad the next question?
what has the patient done about the problem?
Good.
He put the cream on his arm.
Ah, he put. Good.
Yeah.
Put cream on his arm. Did it work, Murad? Did it work?
Sorry, teacher?
Did it work? Did the cream
No.
work?
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work? How would we put that in the past tense?
It didn't work.
Good. Nice. Nice work. And Murad, can you ask Joao the next question?
Okay, what does the doctor recommend to the patient? What does the doctor recommend to the patient?
The doctor recommended to the patient another medicine, oil or cream, and the doctor recommended to he can't stretch your skin.
Okay, he recommended him not to scratch and not to use a lot of soap.
Yes.
Yeah, can you read those sentences one more time, Joao?
Okay. The doctor recommends another medicine and ointment.
Sorry, ointment. An ointment.
Okay. The doctor recommends another medicine and ointment.
Yeah.
He recommended him not to stretch and not to use a lot of soap.
Good pronunciation of soap. Okay. Does anybody have any questions here? Any questions?
Teacher, what does it mean ointment?
Okay. Does anybody know what an ointment is? What's an ointment?
It's like advice, or not?
Ointment is not advice.
Ointment is
Teacher,
like
how
a-
pronunciation? Recommend?
Recommend.
Recommend.
Good.
Yes.
And so back to ointment. What's an ointment? Does anybody know?
It's something similar to some creams.
Yeah,
Like-
it's a... Keep going, sorry.
No. I finished, teacher. Don't worry.
Okay. So something like a cream for sure. Let's get a picture of it. Oh wow, what is that? Huh. Okay. I thought I had a picture. Hold on one second. Maybe I'll get a better one. Weird. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna change pages and try to put... So that's an ointment, is what's in this picture. I'm not sure why it's coming out really oddly. Yeah, nothing. But good. Any other questions here? Any other questions about anything on this page? No? Okay. We don't have time for that. Let's try this one for just a second. And I think it's Italo. Italo, can you read the directions? Okay. Ismail, can you read the directions?
Description. Choose a picture and talk about it. Describe its symptoms and how much pain each person feels.
Nice. Good job. And can you follow the directions, Ismail? Can you choose a picture and describe the symptoms and how much pain he feels, or she?
The first one, for example, the man on the first picture had a severe headache.
Okay. Has a severe.
Headache.
Severe headache.
Yeah. Okay. And on a scale of 1 to 10, how much pain does he feel?
He feel
Right there.
7.
Okay. He feels a 7.
7.
Good. Nice job. Perfect. And so unfortunately, we're just about out of time. Does anybody have any last questions before we finish up class? Any last questions? Okay. So you guys did a great job today, everybody. It was nice having everybody in class. I know it was a big class. But hopefully I'll see you guys all again soon, and have a really great evening, day, or night, depending on where you are. And again, hopefully I'll see you guys all again soon.